Hi, my name is Sam Smith, and today I'm going to do my informative speech on how to play the snare drum. And I've been playing drums for about 13 years of my life, 20 years old, so I started when I was around 7 years old. And my father was actually a percussionist at Oral Roberts University as well. So he's the one that really brought me up through the program of how to learn how to play the snare drum. And then with my research, I found some informative ways and some topics of how to really make your stroke and the sound of the drum the way you want it to be. And I also did percussion and marching arts at Union High School here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I did that for from 6th grade to 12th grade, and we placed 11th in the nation for one of our performances. And that's why I believe I am the most qualified to show you how to play the snare drum. All right, so starting at the drum, when we approach the drum, we want to make it comfortable for us to play. And right now it's too low. And if I use my sticks currently, this is not going to create a good sound or make a good attack. So when we walk up to the drum, we're going to want to adjust the height to what's about waist level. And we'll use the sticks to gauge that, make sure it's nice and tight. So we're about here. So belt's about here. You want to make sure you can relax your shoulders. Shoulders got to stay down here. When you approach the drum, it's easy to come up to. Now, with your footing, you can either have a nice angled grip where you have about 45 degrees up here, or you can do a spread stance, but you want to be able to keep time in your heels. I like to wear flat-footed shoes so I can feel the beat whenever I'm keeping time. So that's the reason why I keep a flat-footed shoe. So now we come to the drum. We approach the drum. Perfect. All right. So the most important thing about playing the snare drum is your grip. And looking at the grip right here, like you can either grip it super hard and see how my knuckles are getting all white. That's a really bad thing to see. You don't want to have it loose to where you see all these gaps and everything. Whenever you approach the stick, you want to have a nice firm grip, no gaps in the hand, and this is called the fulcrum, where right here you could play efficiently right here with no fingers on here, but this needs to be solid. It's like having a nail through your thumb to your finger. This should always be able to move, but should never come out of place. Because if you lose that grip, the stick's gonna fly out, and you're gonna lose control of your sound and the stick. So keeping control of the grip, making sure that all of these fingers are keeping together. And then one thing that you really want to have is, especially on a Vic Firth stick, I like to put my thumb on the American flag. There's just a little bit of the stick poking out, so that I'm not too far up on the stick to wherever I'm not able to get enough velocity, but I'm far enough down that I can get a nice velocity and create a good legato stroke. So now, even though I wish I had way more time to put into the grip because there's so much behind it, we come to how to attack the drum. So when you're up here, you want to be a 1/4 inch from the top, and your sticks want to be 1/4 inch apart. You want to keep those tight together because keeping that right there is going to make a good consistent spot for you to keep a consistent sound when playing the drum. So a simple way to hit the drum, and that's what we call legato stroke. And that legato stroke is when you have a big bounce up, and the staccato stroke is where you keep your grip. You squeeze just a little bit to keep the stick down so the stick isn't flying up or rebounding too much. You just have the staccato. So there's so much more to do with the snare drum. We can do an advanced grip where you do a traditional grip, so you work more from the heel, like back in the Civil War days. There's also stuff like rim shots, different ways to play, like a little buzz roll, slams, diddles, a whole plethora of things to learn. And this is just scratching the surface. And in conclusion, I think that playing the snare drum has really impacted my life. It's brought me closer to the Lord. It's showed my passion for worship and music in a ways that I could never imagine throughout my entire life. And I'm really thankful for my father teaching me how to play the snare drum and being able to present this towards you. And maybe sometime I'll give you guys a few lessons about how to play the snare drum. But I appreciate your time, guys.